Man, what a treat. It's kind of nice to be sitting here at my house. You guys are at your house. I mean, this is pretty comfortable. We get to kick back, and you guys can walk over to the fridge and grab a drink, and I can too. So what a great event.
But that right there gets me excited. I mean, topwater fishing, you know, that's in the heat of the summer there, and to have action like that up on the bank and to catch big fish. You know, we catch a lot of big fish in the summertime. The biggest fish I've ever caught. Fishing period has been on the buzzbait in the first, you know, in the low 50s. So let's move on. I think I just want to make sure I cover everything on the buzzbait. And I mean, I got it. Tackle Warehouse, you go to Trailer Hooks, you'll see it on there. It just loops over the shank of your hook and it goes on any kind of bait. I like it just because of that. It swings freely. And I feel like whenever that fish gets hooked, he can't really use the weight of the bait to throw it.
Go and you get one of these weights and you get a lead weight in their mouth. First off, it's soft, so when they grab it and they've got it in their mouth, they can actually grip it with their teeth. So when you set the hook, sometimes you'll move the fish rather than moving the bait in his mouth. It's very important the way you set up on a fish, because if you can see that fish and monitor that fish, it's better than doing it there. Since Duke did win the deal, and I saw the question from Duke that said, you know, do I use white for me or for the fish? And a lot of times for sight fishing,
when I'm picking a bait like this, let's say this style bait, what's important to me is the plastic. You know, it's the plastic consistency. You know, we've all flipped tubes and worms and you know, creature style baits like this for years, and we've all lost a lot of fish. So when I'm really looking for a speed crawls, we got the Ultra Vibe and the Super Speed Crawl. Great action, great baits for you know, like I love the speed crawl on a football jig. Lots of action.
Tony wants to know, he says, look, give us just one technique, or it could be a bait modification that a lot of people don't know about, or something that'll help put more fish in the boat. Something secret. Nobody knows.
Something secret. You know, that was a big secret of mine for a long time now.
Here I am, you know, with basically no money and forced to go into 2 tours at the same time. So, big deal. Getting over the hump was real important to me. I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit faster, or anything like that. But if they need anything, like it might not be a cover shot, you know, Maurice holding 2 giant bass on the cover, you know, whatever. It might be
a lot of resumes, and it is real quick and easy to decide if it's going to be one that I might be interested in contacting.
Is one thing that I really didn't know a whole lot about when I first started fishing. I didn't own one of these. This is a loose spinning rod. This is actually one of the prototypes. And when I talk about versatility, I'm talking about you need to be very comfortable with the entire lineup of techniques out there in fishing. You need to be comfortable with finesse fishing, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. You need to be comfortable with power fishing, offshore fishing. You need to know about different regions that you go to. I know a lot of you guys fishing bass clubs. About my granddad is because it relates to a fisherman in the Bible. I'm just going to go right into reading this old story. And again, it's the story of a great catch, a fish catch in the Bible, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it. And you know, I'm not a preacher. I'm by no means a preacher, but I am a fisher of men. I believe we're all in.
Find potential areas. So let's go to the next place here. This right here is just a snapshot I took up on my iPad of my Navionics chip. This is actually Eufaula Lake. This is actually I see a lot of people doing wrong. And again, this is my way of doing it. There's no wrong way to do it. And I'm telling you right now, this is the better way to do it. So think about doing that. And then same thing, you know, when
You know, when fish, a lot of times I find them when they're sitting like that, I like to catch them finesse, and it seems like I can just keep on catching them. So that's something I use a lot. My goal in a tournament is to try to find fish deep and shallow. If you can find both and utilize them both, by far, I think that's you're gonna have a stronger finish. And I got another question here about bright colored shirts. We were just doing that yesterday for my jerseys. Definitely, I'm fishing a super fluke or some kind of soft jerk bait, topwaters, spinner bait, crankbait. Yes, it can cost you fish wearing bright colored shirts. I know this for a fact.
What this allows it to do is whenever I jerk, it allows the tip to put the hook in the fish's mouth. I mean, it drives the hook, I should say, and then it loads the rod up.
Difference with the vibration they'll make, but I wanted to hear your take on that. And thank you for sharing information today.
You know, that's a really good question. You know, it really depends on what kind of mood not only are the fish in, but what I'm in. You know, I have
Rubber skirts are absolutely stupid, phenomenally better, ready? Better than any other skirt out here if you've got stained and dirty. Structure scan, yeah, right there, left and right. It's kind of fuzzy. Well, that's grass, okay? And these are little stalks in the center that you can see sticking out. Now, if you look to the upper right-hand side, up here, that is the actual blades of grass, of hydrilla. So we've come off the main line coming here, and it's getting lighter as we come out to the end. So you can see here's
always set up the same way. And this is a feature called overlay structure. This is something a lot of guys don't know about, and something I was looking at to get way more bites. That's something I've been doing since, I don't even know how long, since the gobies showed up. This is the first thing that we thought of. That's that color too. That's my favorite, the Moto. I use a whole lot of other ones. And later on, I'm going to tell you some tricks and stuff that really make these tubes, you know, look and perform a lot better. But
each side, I just keep the hooks in the middle. I've got them labeled on medium wire and light wire, depending on what pound test I'm using. I got in here. This box is kind of an essential box. I carry this box with me. It's got all kinds of different markers you can see.
What is your go-to size weight, and do you peg it when you're flipping?
Go-to size weight, and do I peg it for flipping? I use probably a 3/8 ounce weight more than anything else, and yes, I do peg it. I just peg it like with the bobber stop that you can buy from
A lot of times I'll idle with my side scan. I'll take my Humminbird and I'll set it out to whatever side I'm scanning. I'll look for brush piles or trees underneath the docks, and then I'll come back to those after I mark a waypoint.
Mississippi River Rumble, it looked like you were on the fish pretty good there the first day. What key features were you looking for when you were targeting those fish?
The biggest thing was we gotta at least get Justin in here. We gotta see him. He wasn't even in there. We gotta get his pretty little face in here. We're kind of a little tight quarters here. It's a tiny little cabin. We're close enough.
He wants to know what's your best tip for not getting your crankbaits stuck on everything. I'm assuming he's talking about like cover, trees, stuff like that.
The biggest thing is paying attention. That's a mistake I see a lot of anglers make, is that they think when they're fishing a crankbait, they just throw it out there and they just reel it back in straight to the boat. That's not what you want to do. You want to be able to...
But that's a perfect place for the bass to go to first, right there when that water starts hitting that 70-degree range. Then, as it gets warmer, you know, these are open water, offshore fish are open water feeders, so they're migrating around with these sheds.
Listen to Mark talk, and guys, you know, these electronics, you got to get used to them. You know, every lake, it seems like fish look different. You know, you got to get used to looking at bass and stripe. James put it up there on the chatterbox. That's pretty cool, man. And I know Maurice is down there hurting, buddy. He's sick as a pig. But anyway, thanks for everybody coming out. I really enjoyed doing this, and if you liked it, you know, you got a lot of prizes still to come, and if you liked it, just tell your buddies and friends. And I think this is the greatest thing. I think Dave's doing a fantastic job. I just appreciate being a part of it, and just hope that we can keep this thing going and make it a huge success, because I think this is the way of the future. You get really in-depth, comprehensive stuff that you can't get anywhere else.